Hi guys, it's Sierra from Kumpa, and today we'll be doing another coffee of the month. Today we're going to be brewing a coffee that is just so exciting to me. The origin, the producer, and even the species of this coffee. We're going to be drinking a Liberica Excelsa from Quang Tri in Vietnam, produced by 96B. And what I find so exciting about this coffee specifically is that it really opens up this dimension of flavors that we're so used to tasting as specialty coffee drinkers. When I drank this for the first time, it really kind of broadened my horizons on what specialty coffee could be and what it could taste like. And what I find so special about this coffee is that you're gonna get so much tropical fruit in there. It reminds me of guava, pineapple, but there's also this herbaceous note to it as well, a little bit of sage, a little bit of dill. And what is the most exciting thing is how sweet this coffee is. If you've ever tasted pure Excelsa, it tastes just like stevia, just like you added like a little bit of sweetener into your coffee, only you didn't. We're going to be brewing this coffee today on this tried and tested V60. Because what I find about Excelsa and generally non-Arabica species is that they tend to be slightly more soluble. And as much as I love sesame as a flavor note, I want to try to brew that a little bit out of the coffee that we're drinking. We're really going to try to focus on those big, beautiful, fruity flavor notes in this Liberica Excelsa today. So I learned about 96B from my colleagues at Kumpa. And it's so exciting what they're doing to revitalize the Vietnamese producing community. And the recipe we're going to be brewing today is going to be a 1:15 ratio with 15 grams of coffee to 225 grams of water. So the water I'm using today is 30 to 40 ppm at 85 degrees Celsius. And the reason for that is I don't want to put my water temperature too high because I know that this coffee is going to be quite soluble and I don't want to brew those brown notes out into the coffee. What I want to do is to really focus on that fruity profile that this coffee is so well known for. So we're going to start with a 40-gram bloom. And I'm going to be doing a series of 5 pours. So 40, 90, 140, 190 to 225. I think there's been such a big focus in the specialty coffee world on different species other than Arabica. And with the increasing pressures of climate change, of demand for arable land going up, we're really starting to see a shift towards coffees that are slightly more resistant to pests, to drought, to climate change, resistant to disease. And I think a really good side effect of that is that it's really challenging us to brew coffee differently and to expect different things from the coffees that we're brewing. So this coffee should be running out at about 2.5 minutes. And you can afford to be a little bit more gentle with the way that you're pouring. So making sure that your coffee isn't agitating too much in the brew bed. Because the more you agitate, the more the coffee extracts. And we don't want to over extract this coffee or extract the less positive qualities of this coffee. And this is now my final pour, up to 225. So the 96B Anaerobic Natural is a micro lot that we're offering on the Kumpa website. And if you're interested, make sure to check us out in the link above. This coffee comes in 30 kilo bags, so quality is very, very consistent, very stable. And if you've never ever tried Liberica Excelsa before, I really recommend that you do so because it's really going to open up your flavor universe to really show you that different coffee species can be processed to the same level and the same standards as Arabica coffee. So our coffee is now done extracting. Just going to take this off. Oh, there's a really nice pink fruit note in here. Some strawberry, some guava. And usually when I have a big chunky coffee with a big chunky flavor profile, I love to use ceramic cups, particularly pink ones. If you haven't yet checked out the research of Dr. Fabiana Carvalho, her research delves into the multi-sensory science behind how we drink coffee, which goes to show that even the material, the weight, the shape of your cups can influence how you drink coffee. And this is the one I've chosen today. It's giving me plenty of headspace to enjoy the aroma of the coffee, even after I put some coffee into here. And what I'm gonna do before I put the coffee into my cup is to add a little bit of mineral concentrates. These are from Apex Lab in Australia, and I find them so handy for when I want to enhance certain characteristics of the coffees that I'm drinking, particularly today in this Anaerobic Natural Liberica Excelsa. I do find a very nice herbaceous note in there, which I would generally classify into the same umbrella as florals. It's really just something quite aromatic. I'm getting some vanilla, I'm getting a little bit of that sesame seed, I'm getting a little bit of sage. And then I also want to add a little bit of tonic as well, which brings out that nice guava note that we were talking about before. If you're using water that's already a certain minerality, so between 60 to 80 ppm, you don't have to do this. You can go ahead and enjoy the coffee as is. This is for if you want to get really, really nerdy about how water minerals can impact the taste of this coffee. All right, I'm excited. What I'm really getting that is so lovely about Excelsa is that stevia aftertaste. You really don't get a lot of coffee that tastes like this. I'm also getting a note that I didn't get before as well. Now that I'm tasting it on my palate, I'm getting some real nice passion fruit notes. Such an exciting coffee. One thing I did find about roasting this coffee specifically is that it's very difficult and challenging sometimes to hear the first crack. And that's not just limited to Liberica Excelsa. This can also be the case for other non-Arabica species as well, such as Canephora. So if you're roasting this for filter specifically, I would urge you to pay really close attention to when you're roasting this coffee. And if you're interested, we're also going to be featuring other coffees from 96B that are processed differently as well, also Liberica Excelsa. And if you're interested to buy them, feel free to check them out at the link in our bio above. Thanks, guys. See you at the next one. Enjoy.